my parents always tell me like, you shouldn't do certain things, you need to do certain things, and we always don't follow. And then eventually one day we look back and we went, oh, wow, I should have listened to my mom. I should have listened to my dad, because if I would have listened to them, I would have skipped all the unnecessary mistakes that I have done. I would just have to plug in a model and play. Right. So today, are we really going to build our business based on, sorry, this is not my slide. Why is it like that? Okay, so today, are we really going to build our business based on this? Are we going to build a business which is solid, or are we going to build a business based on creative patchwork of ideas? And I'm a creative person. It's very natural for me to incline to go into the creative side of it. And let me share with you, we went there and it just didn't work out, and then we have to restart again. So today's conversation, I hope that you just plug into it. I'm just going to touch a little bit more on all these kind of things, because I feel that the fundamental of our business is really important. If the fundamental is not right, everything that we built on after this is going to crumble down, because you did not get the fundamentals right. Okay, so my question today is, my quote today is, do not say this, let me try my way first. A lot of agents start with this, let me try my way first. But my question is, do you really want to try your way? I'm going to give you an example. Look at this. Can someone tell me which burger do you prefer? The left one or the right one? Anyone? Really? You want to share with me?
The left one.
The left one? Yeah. Definitely. The left burger is so much tastier. But my question is, today, why does the right burger sell so much better? Why does McDonald's sell 7 burgers every second? Why does the McDonald's franchise cost 7 to 8 million ringgit today? Why does it cost that? And why are people willing to pay that amount of money to start up a McDonald's business? The answer is definitely not the burger is delicious. It's definitely not that. We are clear of that. And why people spend 8 million ringgit to open a McDonald's is simply because I believe in the system and models. I know that if I plug my business into this, it's going to work. I don't have to figure out a lot of things because people have done it before. I just have to follow. And that's really, really simple. So stop reinventing the wheel. Today, let us all stop reinventing the wheel. Okay, just let me sort out my slides for a second. I don't know why did it jump. Okay. Yep. So let's look at the economic model. What is the economic model? The economic model is basically a formula that describes the way your businesses works. It's also a relationship between a series of activities and the outcome. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. It's a relationship between a series of activities and the outcome. Now I want you to flip it around. So we start with an income goal you want to achieve, and you work backwards and start figuring out the actions that you must do to achieve it. Okay, think of an income goal right now. I want everyone to pause for just 10 seconds. Think of an income goal that you want to achieve, because a lot of times when I speak to agents, I ask them, what do you want to achieve? I want to make a lot of money. How much money? I don't know. I just want to make a lot of money. So how much is a lot of money? Well, I want to have my own house, and I have my own car, and I want to be financially free. But what's that amount for you? You got to put a measure on that. So if you have thought of an amount, can you just leave it in the comments area? Really, is anyone putting any numbers there?
No, not yet. Okay, there is one. MJ.
How much is that?
1,000. Some say 6,000. 1 million.
1 million? Yeah. Okay. There is no right or wrong to this answer. Everyone have different needs. So basically, but let me ask you a very simple question before we go there. Let's stay here for a while. And my question for you is why? It's really why. Because before we go to numbers, have you asked yourself why you need the numbers? Why do you do what you do? And that's a very important question. And a lot of times people don't like to talk about it. So let's intentionally stay here for a while and let's talk about it. Okay, because this is extremely important. I'm going to show you this chart So if you watch Simon Sinek's video, he always talk about this. A lot of people know what they do. They know how they do it, but they don't know why they do it. They know what they do. They know how they do it, but they don't know why they do it. I'm going to give you an example. Today, I'm a car manufacturer, and I'll go, here's our new car. It's beautiful. It's fuel saving. It has the latest technology. Buy a car. And that's really a pitch without a why. Do you know that Dell actually made MP3 players? And did anyone of you bought it? I don't think so, right?
People show hate.
Yeah. So how does it go? Dell will probably say, we make computers. So how do we do it? We hire software engineers to work on them, buy our computers. And that's really a lot of conversations. People don't buy what you do. People buy why you do what you do. I'm going to give you some examples of some great companies out there. Facebook. Why does Facebook exist? Facebook exists to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. And that's what they're doing, Facebook. And then what about Google? We all know Google, right? In fact, we log on to Google and then access to Zoom and sign in today. So what's Google's why? It is really to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Yep. So that's really, I want everyone to start thinking of your why. Okay, so I was checking out Jay Papasan. He was speaking at the Google One Thing office, and he said that money is just a tool. It's not bad and it's not good. Let me repeat myself again. Money is just a tool. It's neither good nor bad. But it's an incredible tool for all of us to achieve our goal and to make our dreams come true. I want you to think of yourself. This is yourself, and this is your goal. And what gets you to your goal is money. Money is not your goal. Okay, so if you're gonna be working on this, there's gotta be a purpose behind it. And you need to know what that is, because there's gonna be a lot of sacrifices that you need to do if you're gonna achieve your goals. Okay, money is not your goal. Money is just a tool for you to achieve your goal. So I want you to start thinking, what's your big why? Why are you here today? Why are we on this conference call? You could be sleeping in bed. Why are you here with me today? Why are you doing all this? You know, it's a very sticky subject and most people like to avoid it. I'm going to give you 2 facts. The first fact is most young people don't have a sense of purpose. It's very common today. Most young people don't have a sense of purpose. And point number 2, in fact, only 10% of the population in the world has a sense of purpose. And it's fine. What does that mean? That means today in this meeting room, probably only 10% of us has a sense of purpose, and 90% of the people are really disconnected. But the good news is today, if you're feeling a little bit distant from your ultimate purpose, we have an opportunity to discover it because of the models we are living in this organization. We are living all the models. So I want you to work on this. Okay, so when you are figuring out your big why, I want you to ask yourself these questions. The first question is, why is that goal important to you? And this is a pretty easy answer. It could be your family, it could be your past experience and all, that you want to achieve this goal. And the next question is, what will accomplishing that goal do for your life?
Team, are you there?
And ask yourself this question: what will happen if you do not accomplish this goal? Okay, so the key point here is really, if there's no pain associated with the third question, you're not quite there yet. Does it make sense? If there's no pain associated with that, you're not quite there yet. I'm going to share a little bit about my big why, and I'm going to try to stay cool and share about it. Okay, so I remember 2 years ago we were at a caveman session in KW Malaysia's office, and the facilitator actually got us to sit in a circle. And as usual, they want to get you all emotional, and they start playing all the sad songs, music. And then they ask you to take out a pen and paper and start writing one thing that you would want to fix, that you are so frustrated with in the world. So I took the pen out and I wrote the word divorce. Okay, let me calm down for a while. Just let me calm down for a while. So the reason why I wrote that is because of this. I just want you to look at the picture. Yeah. So my wife is teaching piano in this nanny's house, and there was this kid that had, that his parents were divorced, and he has been there since like one year plus ago, and he did not go home. The mom was high on drugs, and because of that, she abused the dad very badly, and the dad had to go back to Indonesia. And I remember when I said the word divorce, I actually broke down in front of the entire group. I've never done that before. And I remember John was there, and it was extremely embarrassing. I can't believe that I'm almost there now, but I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah, but I didn't know that really matters to me. That really matters to me. So we took the kid home. We loved on him. We provided for him. My wife even bought insurance for him. And let's end the story beautifully, okay? So what happens is we found the family. You can see that we found the family. And the middle picture is when the dad got reunited with him. You can see that. That's priceless. And then after that, we dropped them off the airport. Okay, so at that period of time, I discovered that what drives me is really not money. It's really, really not money. But what drives me is the ability to be there when somebody needs help. Yeah. And yeah, so my big why is really, God breaks my heart when I see people in need. And that's my big why. And that's what drives me. Okay, so I want you to focus, let's just leave it there. And I want you to think of it again. What's your big why? Because if it's not associated with pain, it really might not be tied to something that truly matters to you. Okay, if it's not associated with pain, it might not be tied to something that truly matters to you. Okay, so, and if it's not tied to something that truly matters to you, most people will give up during the journey. It might sound very cool, but a lot of people give up during the journey. I'm going to give you an example. Why are you here? I want to be financially free. Well, that's great. I want to be a millionaire. Wow, that's great. And that's really cool. But because it's cool and it's not associated to your pain point, you're most likely not going to achieve it because it doesn't really matter to you. Does that make sense? So before we even go there, I want you to work out today, go home and work out your big why. Start asking yourself questions. Why are you doing this? Why? For my family. Why are you doing it for your family? Because I love them. Why do you love them? Keep asking yourself questions until you hit a wall. And that's your big why. Okay, let's get back to the economic model, okay? Let's get back to the economic model. So 3 key focus areas. The first thing is the numbers you must hit. Yep. So what does this numbers you must hit means? It's not like a 500,000, 300,000 I want to make. That's not the number. I want you to ask yourself a series of questions, and the first one is, which market am I in? Am I in a luxury market? Am I in the mid-range market? Am I in a low-end market? And there's really no right or wrong to it. Then you ask yourself a question: what's my average sales price? Is it 500,000? 700,000? What's my average commission? So from here, you can find out that how many units of X property that you're marketing in, that you sell, can help you achieve your financial goal. Say today you're selling 500,000 property and you get a 2% commission out of everyone. So you get a 10,000 ringgit commission out of every sale. So let's say your financial goal is 100,000. So your economic model is really 10 units of X property. It's that simple. 10 units of X property. I'm going to explain why we're going to do this in a while. The next thing you need to focus on is really appointments. Because it's simple, if you don't have appointments or enough appointments, nothing else is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. You're not going to transact. you're not gonna achieve your income goals. And the last thing we're going to talk about is really conversion rates. So this talks about converting lead to appointments, from appointments to bookings, and from bookings to closing. So we're talking about project marketing. We are only dealing with the buyer side because for our seller side, we have the developers. Most of the time, we have the stocks. We're just working on the buyers. So it's pretty simple conversation. Leads to appointments, appointments to bookings, bookings to closing. Okay, so why do we need to track conversion rate? Conversion rate is really crucial because if you can't deliver a good presentation, if you don't have a great script, or maybe if you don't understand your client business profile, that you can't effectively communicate with them according to their behavior, you might not be able to close a sale. And regardless of how many leads that we can feed you, you could get 1 million leads, but because of your conversion ratio, you might not be able to even close a single sale. And the economic model helps us track and understand our numbers so we know which key areas we need to focus in to help us achieve our financial goal. Okay, so I'm going to show you this slide. There is really a difference between busyness and productivity. We need to draw a line between that. I remember John shared with me a conversation he had with a capping agent. An agent came to him and asked for a counseling session. So he or she told John that he or she is capping at 200,000 every single year. And it has been for many, many years. And I'm just going to say he couldn't break out of that ceiling. So John sat down with him and went through his whole business and did an audit and found out that he's really busy. He has a lot of appointments, Monday to Sunday, morning to night. He's packed with appointments. But when they zoom down and they dive down into every single appointment, they found out that all of the appointments are 2,000 ringgit rentals. Now, there's nothing wrong with 2,000 ringgit rental. But if you're going to fill up with your entire calendar with 2,000 ringgit rentals and you want to set a goal of 500,000, that could be a little bit of a stretch. So my question is there a better way to do it? Yep, there's really no right and wrong. It's just helping you to find which works better for you. Okay, so the goal of this exercise is to do productive lead generation, to focus on activities that will help you achieve your goal. The economic model is really simple. It's about numbers. You need to know your numbers.
Hey, team, can I chip in for a while?
Sure.
So I think one of the mindset and the perspective here we teach at Keller Williams, we have a program called the 6 Personal Perspective. And one of the perspective is called moving from E to P, moving from entrepreneurial to purposeful. Now, what Tim was just mentioning about this particular agent that was going through coaching sessions with me, if your goal is at 500,000 and you are just getting busy because you need to fill up your calendar, then that doesn't mean that you are productively moving towards your goal. Yep. Just because you're picking up the phone, calling customers and hoping they will buy something from you or buy whatever products from you, that may not be productive. So you're going to be very clear, especially in this shifted market. One of the best things that you need to think about is who are your target audience? Who are the people that you should be looking at? Why are they interested to buy your property from you? You need to ask those questions. And in those conversations you have with people, rather than going to them right now and say, hey, are you interested to buy this right now? You might want to start with a question, hey, why are you in the market right now? Why are you not buying something? When you go into that perspective and have conversation with people, you begin to find the right audience to target. Yep. That's why it's important for us to think about what we are doing every single day. Are we busy or are we productive? Because and most of the time, I can be very busy doing meetings and all that, but if my team is not working and I'm not progressing, that means I'm busy, but I'm not productive. Does that make sense? So I think that's something that I think most agents that I coach, they are always saying that they are busy and they are so far away from their goal. And I go back and track back what they are doing in their calendar, what they do in their daily routine. Then they realize actually it's just busyness without productivity. So I just want to throw that idea. So thank you for sharing that. Take it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I'll continue. So the goal of economic model is really simple. Start with an income goal you want to achieve, work backwards and figure out the actions that you must take to achieve it. So TY, can I have TY? Is TY here with me?
Hello. Hi, guys.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm going to do a simple exercise with TY. So, TY, so I'm going to figure out his gross commission income goal and then translate it to the economic model and help him to see a much more clearer picture on what's the appointments that he needs to achieve, which will lead him to his closing and will lead him to his income goal. Okay, so I'm going to do that exercise with TY. So TY, can you share with me? I'm just going to ask you a little bit of questions. Where do you focus in? What's your market?
Basically, I focus more on the primary market, on the
Okay.
developer project.
Primary market. Yeah.
Yes.
So any particular area do you focus in?
I focus more on the KLCC area and also KL Central.
Yeah, LCC. What's the average price range of the units there?
Is around 1 million.
1 million.
Yep.
And what's the amount of commission that you're gonna get roughly from each transactions?
For each unit I get average around, for my gross commission is around 40,000.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to ask you one most important question. What's your income goal? How much do you want to make next year? Let's do next year. Like today is really March, end of March. Let's do next year. How much do you want to make in 2021?
2,000. Yeah, estimated is around, for my GCI is around 800,000 for my target. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, guys, I just want to clarify this. The reason why I asked, the reason why TY say 800 is simply because he have achieved 500,000 GCI. So 800,000 is totally possible. By the way, TY, you have been with us for just 1 year plus, right?
Yes.
Yep, and you're at 500,000 GCI. Okay, so GCI simply means gross commission income, just to clarify so that everyone is in the loop. So TY, your next year goal is 800,000 per annum. So your average commission per sale we just discussed is 40,000 per unit, per transaction. Right.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so now if you look at it, basically next year, you just have to work on getting 20 sales for the projects that you're working on.
Yep, it's around 20 units.
Okay. And that looks pretty achievable. TY, can I just check with you what's your appointments to closing ratio?
Let me think. Normally, 4 appointment gets me 1 sales, so it's like 4 to 1.
Yep, I totally understand that because every time when TY sends appointments into the group, I just want to back him up. Every time TY sends 4 appointments to the group, I know that he's going to close 1 sale. I know that. And that's an example of him knowing his number. So if you're to break it down, right, so how does it look like? You need to have how many appointments a year to achieve that goal? That's 80, right?
Correct, that's 80.
And monthly will be around 7?
Yeah, around 7, yes.
And weekly, we're looking at?
Around 2, yep.
Wow. Yep. And guys, just to clarify, there is way more information that we can get out of this economic model. We can dive deeper. I can be asking him questions that what is his lead conversion from his MET group and his target group, which is his haven't met group. So all of this we'll discuss later with John Kuek in the lead generation model. So TY, now it's pretty simple because every single day, you just have to wake up from bed. I'm going to change this to 2. You're going to wake up and tell yourself that you just need to do 2 appointments this week.
Yep, yes.
Yep, and now we have absolute clarity of your goal, and I know that it's totally achievable.
Yes,
okay,
correct.
So yeah, thanks TY. I'll get you in later again. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically a very simple economic model. Okay, you see that the questions that I asked TY and all, and the goal of this entire exercise is really simple, is to know your numbers. So today, what's your number? What's your conversion ratio from the leads to appointments? How many leads do you speak to? What's the ratio of you bringing them into the gallery for an appointment? And then next, what's your conversion ratio from appointments to bookings? And then from bookings to done deal. We know that project marketing is not like sub-sale. Once they place in a booking form, they pay a 2% deposit and it's there. But project marketing, there is a possibility that clients gonna pull out. Okay, so numbers is really, really important because without numbers, we can't track anything. Now, for the sake of for the people that still don't get it, I'm going to give you another example. Today, imagine, today I want you to imagine that Steve Jobs is still alive. And he's in his office with all of his board of directors, his marketing head, his head of sales, and they're having a conversation. And he asked, hey guys, last year our sales quarter on quarter in China has declined. So what has happened? Guess what the team would say? I don't think the head of marketing would say, I feel that the Chinese people don't like to use the iPhones anymore. I don't think the head of sales would say, I think the market is a little bit bad. Right. Because if they would say that, Steve Jobs would have fired them. And I think the conversation could sound like this. Last year, we spent $10 million in China. We have reached 10 cities, 1 billion people. And based on all the feedbacks and survey, we have gotten back 57% of the people don't like iPhones because of this, 27% because of this. And it's really a compilation of numbers. Because if you don't know your numbers, it's pretty dangerous. And one thing that you know your number is good because you can work on your conversion ratio. Yeah, how can you maintain the same amount of leads but get more closing? Could it be your script by inviting them to the gallery? Could it be your closing presentation? Could it be what you say at your booking? And that's really something for you to work out. Everyone has different numbers. Gary Keller said that nobody have two same numbers, and it's for you to find out about this.
Hey team, let's just add something here. When I was in a conversation with Gary Keller just a month ago in Dallas, one of the things he brought up about agents, that how agents don't respect their numbers, how agents don't focus on numbers in their business. Because if you are in business, you have to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you are not respecting your own business, and you are not going to focus on a sustainable business model. So one of the things that he's teaching even in regional leadership, that how are we tracking our numbers daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly to see the trends. So right now, if you know that we are in a crisis right now, meaning your appointments ratio from leads to appointments is likely going to be increased. Now, if you don't know your numbers right now, you wouldn't know what to increase to and what activities to do. So a lot of people go into the market and say, let's do more ads, let's do more events, but they don't know what their numbers right now are. And if they know, because if I did all these events and ads right now, it's not working, if I don't track it, then I can't change and can't pivot. In a shift, we've got to really change very quickly how we approach audience, how we get more audience in to our attention and our eyeballs. So I think that's really very important, where we need to respect our numbers by knowing them and by using them as a tool to lift our business up. So I just want to just add that in what Gary Keller shared with you.
Yeah, thank you, John. Absolutely love that. And today, if you're leveraging on technology, today, if you're a KW agent, go on your front door, key in your goal, and he's going to break it down for you on what you need to do to achieve that goal you want to do. Okay, so everybody should have a tracking system. My question to you today is, what's your tracking system? You need to have that. Okay, so after a tracking system, now I really want to work on something very simple. We call it a GPS. And what does a GPS do? A GPS on a phone basically takes you from one point to another point. And in our business, it's the same. It's a map for us to get to our destination. So GPS really stands for goals, priorities, and strategies. It's one big goal, 3 priorities, and 5 strategies. TY, are you still there? Hello, TY, you can unmute yourself.
Just a moment. Okay, it's unmute.
Sorry to put you on the spot again.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to work with you on this. Yeah, so just now we discussed that your goal is 800,000, right? Can I just use that?
Yep, yes, 800,000
a year, which is 20 units of X property in KLCC.
Correct.
Yeah. So can I ask you some questions? What do you think your priority should be? What can help you achieve that goal?
I think as a new person that joining this industry, lead generation for me to get new customers is very important.
Love it. Yep. And that's our number one thing, lead generation.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the second priority first. What else do you think you can immediately work on and it's going to help you to achieve that goal?
Well, let me think. Maybe to improve on my soft skill and knowledge in the property side.
Improve your, maybe we call that self-mastery.
Self-master is good.
Yeah, so by doing that, you believe that you're going to increase your conversion ratio of 4:1 to maybe 4:2. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, and what else? What else can you do to help you hit that goal?
Maybe to follow up with my existing customer, to follow up more closely.
Okay, I love that. Follow up. Okay, so you have 3 priorities here, and I believe the number 1 is lead generation. Definitely lead generation, right? So lead generation and then self-mastery and follow-up. Okay, let's look at some of the strategies that you can work on in your lead generation. What would you do?
Normally, I would really block my time for example, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for cold calling. 2 hours or maybe slightly more than that.
2 hours a day. Let's put more numbers to that. 2 hours a day. Are you targeting an appointment?
Yeah, I would target an appointment maybe to get at least 1 appointment.
Okay, with an outcome of 1 appointment.
Yes.
And you have been doing this, right?
Yep.
And it has been generating you close to 500,000 gross commission a year.
Yes, correct.
So my question here is, do you think you might need to up it a little bit for you to achieve your 800,000?
Yeah, maybe I need to up to 3 hours or maybe more.
Okay, let's just put it at 3 hours first for time's sake. Okay. What else could you do? What else do you lead generate with? Where does your leads come from?
I also joined some networking events.
Networking events. We call it prospecting.
Yeah, or maybe seminars.
Okay, and how often are you going to do this?
Normally, I would join like perhaps once a week.
Okay. What else?
I also attending roadshow.
Roadshows. Okay. Prospecting as well. Anything else?
It's through social media, advertise in social media.
Social media. Okay, I love that. What else? Question. Have you ever closed any sales from social media? Because I think you'll be filling this for the sake of filling it. Like, is it going to help you reach there?
I mean, for social media, I have both paid and unpaid. So for unpaid, I have been setting few appointments. So for paid, yes, I has been closed a few sales from there.
Okay, love that. Any other ways of lead generating for you? Do you put up property portals?
Yep, yeah, property portals like iPropertyMuda.com.
Okay, so we got your lead generation sorted out. Okay, let's look at your self-mastery. What do you think you need to work on to help you increase your conversion ratio?
I think reading books.
Reading books? Is this because of getting more knowledge?
Getting more knowledge.
Is there a target to it? How many books a year?
For this year, I target to read only 6 books. Yeah.
Only 6 books? Okay, never mind. It's a good start. It's a good start. Really staring at you because she's annoyed. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else? What else?
Maybe watch more video on YouTube about the soft skill, how to talk to customer.
Okay, master your soft skill. Could probably like something like the DISC profile. What else?
And listen to BFM during the rush hour.
What does it do? BFM?
Yeah.
Like that.
It's the business radio channel.
Okay, what else? We gotta go a bit fast because today we are catching up on time. Normally I'll spend this with you like for like at least 1 to 2 hours, but today,
okay,
for time's sake, let's just go through it. What else?
Yeah, well, because I want to improve on my soft skill in like English, Cantonese, so I would like to practice more on that.
Would you consider going for a class?
Yeah, I will be consider going for a class.
Okay. What else? Is there anything else you can work on?
Let's say attending more training in MC1.
Wow. Okay, I love that. And okay, we got this sorted out. So let's work on your follow-up. What are you going to work on about your follow-up? What can you do?
Let me think. Consistently touch my customer for 33 points.
Also 33 touch points. Yep, I love that. And okay, anything else?
I will also key in my contacts in KW command.
That's managing your database. Okay, TY, for time's sake, I'm not gonna complete this entire thing with you. I'm just gonna leave it here.
Okay.
But I just want you guys to see that I'm really helping him to find out which works best and which is gonna help him achieve his goal faster. There's no right or wrong in what you do. The question is really what helps you achieve your goal faster. So if we have more time, I could have run through his 411 with him, which is his yearly goal, broken down into monthly, into weekly. And then we can also be working on time blockings. I'm just going to go through all these things. And then if you want to read a book, check out The One Thing. And today I want you to look at this. And The One Thing really shows this, living in a domino run. Think of this as a series of blocks. And ask yourself, what's the first block that you can push that everything is going to fall into place, that you're going to achieve your daily, your weekly, your monthly, your 1 year goal, your 5 year goal, and your someday goal. So I'm really going to end here. So if you want to sign up for coaching, this is my number and that's my email address. Also, I just want to share with you, this is some of our success stories. Joseph was a car spare part salesman in the morning, bartender at night. He's with us. He's been netting more than 350,000 a year. PY is another example, 500,000 commission income for a rookie. You can also check us out on YouTube. We have a YouTube called Zeta Team, Instagram, and we also have a website called buyklcc.com. BuyKLCC. You can buy the Twin Towers. Yeah, and that's all I have for today. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for staying with me.
Can you just go back to the slide of your contact number and your email? I'm just going to quickly wrap us up today. There are some questions here that's popping up. I think we have like 300 over people on this call right now. Thank you for coming on this call. Someone was asking what's the 33 touch point.
John is talking about, John's going to talk about it later.
Jonathan Kuek is going to come on here in the next 3 to 4 minutes. John, I just prep yourself right now. I'm going to pass the time to you shortly. But those are the 33 touch points are what we call the systems and models for following up with clients. How you touch your clients 33 times. There's a system and there's a model for that. And John will go into that deeper. That will be what we call the lead generation model. Because of time today, we only have 2 hours. Normally, this training is done a full day training to understand the whole 4 models, fundamental models of the MREA, a $1 million estate agent model. But I thought that we could break it down in just 2 components, the economic model and the lead generation model. Because if you don't know the economic model, the rest doesn't really work. Gary Keller says this: success is sequential. If you want to be successful, you got to work on one piece at a time. And if you don't get the first piece first, and I was really moved by Timothy's sharing just now about the big why. Because if you don't identify your why, and you cannot attach that goal to a why, that goal has a very high chance of not being successful because there's no drive and there's no purpose behind that why. And it's why he spent a lot of time about the mindset in the beginning to kind of get us to start thinking why we should be doing what we are doing. So I hope you guys learned something from here. What are some of the ahas you got from Timothy today? Any ahas? Everyone says it's very useful. Any ahas? Virtual assistants, is there any ahas that someone posted?
At the moment, no. Someone did say, yeah, you need to know your number and respect them.
Absolutely.
That's what.
135 GPS. This is the most important. When I do coaching calls, I do coaching calls as well with agents of a certain level of production, which I do as well. And I get them to drive them down on their 135, their GPS. If they don't have a good GPS in their life, it's like having a car without a GPS. Absolutely, MJ, numbers is absolutely important. You've got to respect your numbers so that you can achieve those numbers. Yes, know your numbers clearly and figure out a way to achieve it. Because without having that number, you go into the roadshow, you go into the show gallery, you don't know what to do, right? Thank you. All right. Jonathan Kuek, are you there, Jonathan Kuek? Hey, John.
Hi.
Tim, can you de-share your?
Yeah, I'm figuring out that. Thanks.
Hey, John, are you going to share a screen?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yes. Can someone spotlight him, please? Okay, John Kuek, it's one of our training faculty, and also owner of a platform called FDRT. He focused really on the mass market products for project marketing. By the way, John, you have some of your clients on call here today, just so that you know.
Right.
Yeah, so I think you're a little bit soft. Can you kind of increase your volume?
Can you hear now?
Yeah, okay. So John is the go-to person that will be focusing on the lead generation model. To answer your question, Jenny, John is from Whitfield Market Center 1. He owns a platform called FDRT. Now I'm going to pass the time to him to take us away on the lead generation model. So team, take it away. John, take it away.
Right. Hi, good morning, everyone. I know that people come from different areas, some from KW, Philippines, Thailand, and other countries that are coming here. And also our buddies in real estate industry. I just want to say welcome and thank you for coming here. And just want to recap what Timothy just said about economic model. Number one is to really understand your number first.
Hey John, it's very soft. Can't hear you. Can you on your mic louder or sit closer to to wherever you are?
Is it very good now?
Is your microphone volume on maximum?
Yeah. Let me try it again. Wait a minute. Is it very good now? Can you hear?
It's still soft. Can you yell at the computer and scold the computer?
You might want to go closer to the screen.
I'm going to do like this then.
Okay.
Yes, much better.
All right, cool. So I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Jonathan. I'm from Market Center 1 KW, Malaysia. And also running a platform. I'm also part of the faculty trainer to teach about lead generation model. And I've been teaching this a lot of times in our organization, and we see a lot of success story in our company. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey John, what is a lead generation model? Basically, lead generation model is not teaching you how to lead generate from Facebook, YouTube, Google, or Instagram. Now, lead generation model basically is to tell you what do you need to do first when the leads come in. That's number one. Number two, how do you store your database? And number three, how are you going to communicate with your leads in a more systematic way? And lastly, let the technology take over your database and let the AI do the job for you. Now, I remember a few days ago, no, I think 1 month ago, we attended a Marak event, and Mr. Soma asked this question, ask the ladies and say, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Now, that lady say it's going to be very, very different. One of the biggest things that will happen in our industry is the way we handle our database. So that's the things that I want to highlight. Now, one of the biggest problem that all the real estate agents face right now is that there's sometimes over-focus on quality leads without knowing the market has shifted. Now, you like it or not, good or bad, right now the market has already been shifted. Now, it's not about seller's market right now. By the way, I just want to double check. Can you all hear me? Very good, yeah. So I'm gonna use this. Now, one of the biggest problem is all the real estate agents, they over focus on quality leads without knowing the market has shifted. Now, I just want to tell you what are we going to do right now to generate leads from the market. Now, there are two things that we can do. I'm gonna pull this. There are two things that we can do to generate. I'm gonna pull a little bit closer, that we can generate leads. Number one, we call prospecting. And number two, we call marketing. Now, let me explain a little bit deeper about what is prospecting and what is marketing. Now, prospecting means you are very proactive and you bring the property to see the client, or you go out to the market to seek for leads. Now, marketing means you are attracting leads to come to you. You put out ads and then you wait for someone to call you. Now, most of the problem right now that we have is that 80% of our time are focusing on marketing. And marketing, you need to spend a lot of money on this. Now, I just want to ask you a little bit, maybe I believe some of you here are doing sub-sales, some of you here are doing primary market. Now, if you ask yourself this question, over the last 1 year, your sales is actually come from marketing or come from prospecting? Now, if your sales, your latest sales that you close is come from marketing, maybe you comment below and you put 1 so that I know what is that. If your sales, your last transaction that you bring the sales to the company or bring the sales to your pocket is come from prospecting, you comment 2. Now tell me, your last transaction is come from where? Now someone say 1 from marketing, a lot of people say 1, some people say 2, Onion say 1, right? I can see a balance of 1 or 2 here. There's a lot. Now, cool. Now let me go through a little bit deeper about, wow, a lot from 1, right? Cool. Now let me go a little deeper about what is marketing activities that you are doing for your property right now or the project that you're doing. Now in Malaysia, one of the biggest marketing costs that we spend right now, the trend, we call Facebook. Now I was talking to one of the Asian that he spent about 30,000 on Facebook marketing to generate leads. Now I think if developer side, probably they spend about 100,000 easily just for Facebook marketing and get a lot of leads here. So now that's the marketing that we are doing. And what else we can do for marketing side in your project? Now for sub-sale, probably you are using iProperty or Muda, like what TY say earlier. And what do you do? Property portal from iProperty. Maybe some people spend money on Google Ads, right? And probably signboard if you're doing sub-sale, right? So all these activities is that you put out ads and you wait for someone to call you. But the problem is right now the market has shifted. Now when we talk about buyer's market, can I safely say to get listing is easy, to get quality leads is hard. Now, let me tell you this, in the whole Klang Valley, we can easily have about 120 projects on the market in Klang Valley area. But what about the buyer's market is getting very less and very less. So what we are trying to do here is we want to do marketing, but we want to do more on prospecting. So when the market shifted, we shouldn't just focus on this. Now, if you realize that your business, your marketing activity right now is only focusing on this side, I think you need to change, because when the market shifts, your strategy, your business model will need to shift as well. So for prospecting side, what are you going to do? And what other activities you have in prospecting? Let me give you some ideas. Now, we have cold calling, and I like cold calling a lot. We have cold calling. Now, some people say cold call doesn't work, but based on my previous project that I did, I think 70% from my sales is actually come from cold calling. All right, it's zero cost, but we gain a lot of profit margin from doing this cold calling. And what do you have for prospecting that you go out to seek for leads? It's roadshow. What else do we have for prospecting that you go out and look for client that we have flyers? Now, some people also say that, hey, John, flyers doesn't work anymore. Flyers is not workable. But let me tell you this. I've been doing, putting out flyers for one of the project, and we get 2 sales from there. So people say, hey, flyer doesn't work. So sometimes I always tell the agent that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. There are people become a real estate agent and be successful, but there are people become a real estate agent and they struggle and cannot make sales. Now, some people be a YouTuber and can be a millionaire, but some people be a YouTuber and nobody knows them, right? So the question is not what you do, it's how you do it. So that is very, very important. So we do flyers differently, that we don't put out at the housing area, but we take the flyers, go to the MRT station early in the morning at 7 o'clock, and in the morning, 7 o'clock, we distribute flyers there, and that's how we get the 2 sales there. Will we continue to do that? Yes, because any of the activities here is work for you. Let's say work for you, spend your time, effort, and money and doing that, and get the maximum sales out of it. Now, we can continue to do blasting, which we can do blasting for SMS, WhatsApp, email blasting. I think developer like to do event. And most importantly, for prospecting, one of the ultimate prospecting that you want to do is to get referral. Now, I hold my agent accountable that I set the standard very high. Every time when you bring your client to sales gallery, whether the client buy it or don't buy, we want to get additional 4 leads from that client, because we know that quality leads is getting very tough right now. To get leads is very difficult. So we want to get referral. So maybe this is one of the action plans that you want to do, that every time when you meet out your client, you want to get additional 4 leads from there, right? Cool. So far, any question you all want to ask about prospecting and marketing before I go on to the next one?
Hey, John, can I just add something here?
Jeff, no?
Yeah, can I just add something here, John?
Yep, sure.
Yeah, I think the last one, I love the last thing that you say about referrals. I think being in business for 16 years, during my peak in sales, I would say 30 to 40% of my sales came from referrals. And I always tell agents and coach them, if you are in this business 3 to 5 years in the business already, and if you are not getting referrals, and referrals is not giving you 30 to 40% of your sales, you better really look at the business that you are doing. Because something is not right. You got to change the way you approach your business, because either people are not coming back to you or they're not bringing their friends to you, right?
100%.
So that's something that I think people should think about, especially in today's time right now.
100% correct. So now if you are in real estate business for like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years, and you are still struggling looking for leads, I think something is not right. Now, I think one of the biggest asset that we have is our database. That's the thing. And we should work on referral. But a lot of people, they are not focusing on this. So the lead generation model is what we want to do, is focusing on this. Now, guys, so we are doing prospecting and we are doing marketing. We're trying to generate leads from the market, right? Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your model and your database at the moment, that what we need to do right now. Now, there are 2 groups of people that we can generate leads from. The first group called met, and the second group called haven't met. You haven't seen them yet. Now, I'm gonna write down this about met and haven't met. So people that you haven't seen them before. Now, the first group of people that I always call is called core advocate. Now, core advocate is like your BFF, your best friend forever. Now, core advocate is a person who have done business with you and will continue to do business with you, and they will refer client to you. They are like your best friend forever, or they are like your family, or they are your key person, the key pillar in your business. Now, I want you to take a moment that, hey, actually, if you are in real estate for about 3 years, 5 years, or 6 years, you should have core advocate already. So whatever you do, they will come and support you. Now, remember, there's a story from Refi MC1, one of our top producer, that he has core advocate. And basically, every time this client from China come to Malaysia, we'll just call this agent and we'll buy property from this agent. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've done about 10 or 20 million sales from this agent. If I'm not mistaken, is Tim, right? Tim, are you in the call?
Hi, John.
Hi, Tim. Yeah, why don't you share a little bit about your core advocate? Because like this client forever support you, right? Every time come to Malaysia, will buy property from you.
Yeah. Actually, there's a few I went on, like, they have chartered yachts before and we went out together before. And yeah, the number is actually 50 million. So he had bought more than 50 million worth of properties here. And every single time he'll do his own research. And then when he's done with his research, he'll call me and say, hey, Tim, I want to buy this. How can I buy? So it's straight away closing already. I don't know what he researched about.
Right, cool. Now, ask yourself this question. Do you have that BFF in your database? To be honest, in myself, I have 6 years, almost close to 7 years in this industry. I have about 7 core advocate. Whatever product that I want to sell, I talk to them. They will come and support you. These are the people, they like you, they trust you, and they love you. So do you have this core advocate? Now, this group of people that you can generate. Now, there's a second group of people is called advocate. Now, by the way, I just want to highlight a little bit. Now, for project marketing, who is our core advocate? Our client is our developer. Now, basically, they like you, they love how you bring the sales, they love how you handle the client, and whatever project that is upcoming, they will always want you to market for them. Now, as a project marketing side of platform owner, you look after your core advocate very, very well, yeah? So what about sub-sale? You think about that. So this model applies for primary market and secondary market as well. Now, core advocate is the people who have done business with you, and they will continue to do business with you in the future, and they follow you because it's standard that you provide. right? So do you have this core advocate in your database that have done business with you and they will continue to do business with you? Now, I want to ask this question now. I was talking to Ashlyn 2 days ago and say, hey, do you follow up your database? You know what she say? She said, right now is the best time to follow up your database. Because every time when we ask them to go to sales gallery or we want to talk to them, right, they went silent. Now, right now during lockdown, right, you can't go anywhere. You can only stay at home. Now, stay at home means you got nothing to do. Otherwise, you won't be eating so much, right? Now, it's the best time to touch base with your client and call your client because they can't go anywhere right now, correct? They can only keep on eating, and it's the time for you to talk to them and see what you can do after the lockdown. Right now, we can't go anywhere. Even if right now I want to bring my client to sales gallery, you know what will happen? Halfway got stopped by police. That's very bad, right? So that's the thing right now. We have to talk to our client. They are waiting for you to guide them. To be honest, if you feel uncertainty, let me tell you this, your client feel uncertainty as well. Your client don't know what they're going to do. The subsidy they have, they don't know how's the market right now. I've been putting my CMD at Taman Tun for the last 1 year and coronavirus came in and the whole global economic crisis is coming and what I need to do right now. Let me tell you, they need your advice. They need your advice. Go and talk to them, guys. So now the third group of people is called airline resources. Now this group of people, they are not in property line, but they are in property related business. Now I'm going to give you some example that who are the people in property related business. Number one is banker, insurance agent, contractor, interior designer, a valuer. Now, if you really take a moment and think about that, actually there are a lot of people that are in property related business. Now, as I mentioned to you, one of our biggest asset in real estate is our database. What we want to do right now during this shift, I think we have never seen this shift before. I think this shift is probably quite challenging, but I think we can get through that. That we want to talk to this group of people, your banker, your insurance, your interior designer, or whoever their property related business, we want to talk to them and we want to understand their database. Now, take a moment and think, who is the bankers that you have been talking to and they've been in this line for quite some time? Now, will their database can buy your property or can you get their database to propose something that they are looking for, you know? So these are airline resources that we can generate leads from. Now, there's a fourth group of people that we call network med group. Now, this group of people, you have seen them before, or even you haven't seen them before, but you talked to them before. You haven't really set an appointment or talk about property, but you know them, they know you, but you have talked to them. Now, this group of people, I can categorize them as referral, meaning to say you get a client to Sales Gallery and you get additional 4 leads, right? If you can get 10 leads, please go ahead and get 10 leads. Now, this group of people is that you got their contact number, but you haven't talked to them yet, okay? Or you have talked to them yet, but you haven't met up with them. So this group of people that you want to talk, you want to look after them. Now, these are a group of people that under met. There are 2 group of people under haven't met. Let me explain to you. This is called target group. Meaning to say, you know who are they? Let's say developer came out with a project, is a price sensitive product. Okay, price sensitive product. Meaning to say probably they are first time home buyer. Probably their age is about 25 to 30 years old, right? These are the age group of people, target group of people they want to buy. Now, when you know the target group of people, they are first time home buyer and you know it's price sensitive, then you will customize your message, what you're going to do to target them. All right, I give you an example that if you have a CMD for sale today at Taman Tun about 3-4 million, you're not going to target first time home buyer, right? Now, 3-4 million, let's say 4 million CMD, how much you're going to pay for the installment is about 20,000. Now, first time home buyer, fresh grade, they're not going to earn 20,000. So if you have CMD, your target audience is probably a businessman. It's probably someone who earn more than 50,000 a month, or probably someone who has family and have few kids. Now, so you know your target audience very well about target group, but you haven't met them yet. All right. So the model is that what are you going to do here so that you can bring the client to Met Group and bring it to Core Advocate? Now, last group of people, that's called general public. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry is in this group of people. Don't try to do prospecting or marketing here, because you don't know your target audience and you probably waste a lot of money here. Now, the key is we identify there are 4 group of people here, there are 2 group of people here. As I mentioned, lead generation model is that how do you communicate with your leads in a more systematic way? Now, under the Red Book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it taught us this. If you want to communicate with this group of people that we want to apply 8 by 8 and we want to apply 33 touches. Now, to be honest, right now, these touches has gone up to 36 touches now. What we're going to do is every 12 client that we do that, we will get additional 2 leads. Can you see that? Every 12 client that we do that, every 12 client that we apply 8 by 8 and 33 touches, we will get 2 sales. 1 repeat sales, 1 referral sales. Now, let me explain to you what is 8 by 8. 8 by 8 means you touch base with your client once a week and continuously doing that for 8 weeks. So meaning to say you continuously do that for the next 2 months. You touch base with your client for the next 2 months. Now, how many people give up for the first month that you touch base with your client? And I realized one thing. At this market condition right now, people are rushing to close a deal. And they feel that you don't care about me. Now, client really wants the agent who really care about them, that not every time you come and talk to me and ask me to buy property or invite me to Sales Gallery. Do you really know what I want? Now, ask yourself this question, that what can you offer to client? Now, if you offer what the developer can offer, there's no different. Developer is offering 10% discount, but you're offering 10% discount. But there's a reason why you are a real estate agent, that you are here to provide advice for them. You are here to be a consultant. You are here to be the financial consultant for them. They buy property for investment and all that. So that's what we want to do, 8 by 8 and 33 touches or 36 touches. Now, 33 touches mean to say in the whole period of 1 year, you touch base with your client 33 times. Now, will that be overtouch? Let me tell you, yes, it will be overtouch, but we want to touch base with our client. Now, why do we call the fancy name 8 by 8 and 33 touches? Now, the simple word is called follow-up. Now, one of the biggest problems that all the real estate agents face, or probably all the SME business they are in right now, or probably from developer sales staff, the biggest problem is their follow-up skill. Now, if you feel that you have a very bad follow-up skill, please admit and say yes. Comment below and say yes. Or if you feel that now we have me say yes. Cool. So that is the reason why we want to apply this to help you with the follow-up skill. Now, what about here? We want to apply 12 direct. Now, let me explain to you what is every 50 client that you do that, you will get 1 sales. Now, so meaning to say you put this 12 client into this system over time, over the month, over the days, you keep on touch base with them. It's either you get referral sales or you get repeat sales, right? Cool. So now I want to show you, so that's the math and that's the heaven math. So do you have any question to ask before I go into the next one?
Hey, John, someone's asking, can you give an example of a 33 touch point?
Right. So I'm going to show it to you. So I give you an example. The 3 touch point is 4 phone call with the client. You send a birthday card. You send something that is valuable, that's related to them. You send you touch base with them by providing a very valuable content. You send something to them, it's very personal. All right. I'm going to show you an example that how do you come up with a 33 touch points. So meaning to say, if today I meet up with Jonathan Lee, right? Jonathan Lee is my client and I understand when is his birthday. Now I will go back and I will customize at least 10 different touches that will tell me when I need to talk to this client. Right? So I hope I answered your question, John. I hope I answered that person's question. Any more questions?
Just want to add on there, if you have the book, the $1 Million Real Estate Agent book, the 8 by 8 examples and the 33 touch point examples is in page 146 and 147.
Correct. So in this book, go to page 146 and 147 to understand what is 8 by 8 and 33 touches. It's a system that to remind you and follow up systematically. Now, let me tell you this thing. Whatever things that you're doing right now, please have a system and model. Now, I always say this, without system, model, and structure, right, the whole world push you around. You don't have direction. That's where the economy models come in, that you are so clear how many units you want to close, how many appointments you want to have. And it's so clear that it provides you the direction. Now, without system, model, and structure, you are being pushed away.
right? Any more question?
Yeah, John, there's a question asking, if we follow up, is it better to send a message or make a vocal call? This is from Charlie.
It's a combination of all. Combination of all. Right? Any more?
So another question that's asking, how do we know who to apply the 8x8, 33 touches and 12 directs to?
Awesome, cool. Now, because of that question, I go to the next slide. Is that all right? I go to the next slide and share more, yeah? Can you all see the screen here? Can you all see the screen? Someone respond
Yes,
to me.
very nice.
It's
Yes.
fine, very good.
Fantastic, right? So now, cool. We talk about lead generation model, and we talk about, I'll come to this later. What we want to do is prospecting based. And we really want to do more prospecting right now at this market shift, yeah? And we want to set our database. And the last one is systematically communicate with them. Now, all your question that you posted here, I see is that how do we use 8x8? How do we do 33 touches? Meaning to say you want to know the system, right? I'm going to share it to you. Now, take a moment. Maybe I give you 10 seconds to screenshot this. That what is prospecting and what is marketing now. 10 seconds, screenshot it and think about that. What other activities that you can do, right? So we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't screenshot it, I will come back to you later. Now, this one is prospecting and marketing enhanced. If you look at prospecting, right, it's time intensive, proactive, but you get immediate result. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Now, we have been doing marketing all this while, that money intensive, very passive. We're waiting for people to call us, and it's long-term result, right? We want to change the game right now, yeah? And yeah, I highlight this. I highlight call advocate, network met group, and then we apply 8x8, 33 touches. I'm going to show you what is 8x8 right now. Now, can you see the 18 to connect? 18 to connect, 18 touches each year, quarterly phone call, monthly email newsletter, make report, promotional directs such as magnet calendar. So we have one touch about annual event. Now, if you look at 36 touches here, you will see something that is a little bit different. Wait a minute. Bi-weekly email offering some type of information of value to the customer, and event get together party, meaning to say you have lunch with your client, and promotional direct mail. Now, these are the things that 19 touches and also 36 touches. Now go to the book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, page 146, 147. You have a you can get some idea. How do you structure your 33 touch point with a client, right? So that's the thing. We can touch on that a little bit more when we talk about KW Common. Now, if you look at this diagram, right, what we want to do from the MET group or Haven't Met group is the first one. We do prospecting and we get the leads. What we want to do the second is we want to capture the leads and straight away apply 8x8. We touch base with the client once a week continuously to do that for the next 2 months. Now, eventually, when we apply 8x8 and 33 touches, is to build relationship with the client. Now, one of the biggest mistake that all the real estate agents made is they are very interested about transaction and they're not interested to build any relationship, right? So that's the biggest problem that we have. But why we want 8x8 and 33 touches is to really nurture the relationship, and eventually we want to convert this leads into money, right? So mean to say, when the client is ready to buy, they will think about you, right? I'm gonna move on. Right, I'm gonna show you a little bit about the database. Now, I talk about when you generate leads from Met Group and Haven't Met Group, right? What do you need to do first when the leads come in? Number 2 is how do you store your database? Now, before technology comes in, as I mentioned, when I say the opening that time, when Mr. Soma asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And we all say it's gonna be very different, very, very different. And I say, one of the biggest changes that will happen is the way we handle our database. This is how we handle our database. We have name, contact, date of next action, we have status, and we have remark. Now you see my remark is very long. And I'm very time. Can anyone hear?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. So, yeah, so cool. So this is the database that we have. Now, in my status, in my status, we have high potential HLM NOX and A. So mean to say high potential, low potential, medium potential, and others area and no pickup. Now status means in your definition, in your understand, is that cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads, right? But I put it high potential, low potential, and medium potential. Now I want to show you a diagram that today I talked to Jonathan, and Jonathan coached me this, and it made me understand a little bit better, which apply to all businesses or the project or the subsidy that you are doing right now with your client. Now you show me this. One of the biggest problem that all the real estate agents face is they over focus on quality leads without knowing the market has shifted. Now over focus on quality leads mean you are hitting this person at this point of time who is ready to buy. And their status is high potential, hot leads. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question. Where was this person 6 months ago, 9 months ago? Where was this person 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago? Now, this person 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 1 year ago, this person is probably here. And probably is a cold lead. Probably is a low potential or medium potential. They are not ready to buy. Now, ask yourself this question. In this market condition right now, there are more people here or more people here. Now, comment below and tell me. If you think there are more people here, you comment A. If you think there are more people here, comment B. Now, comment below and tell me, what do you think? Shafiq say A. Oh my God. Now I see a lot of B here. Fantastic. A lot of B here. Now, meaning to say, it's not about the quality leads that we want to focus, right? Meaning to say, what we want to focus is the quality of follow-up. What we want to focus is the quality of follow-up. What we want to do during this journey is intensity and frequency. That's what we want to do. Now, if without system, model, and structure, to journey with the client to the top, you will be lost, right? So the quality of follow-up is the intensity and frequency by applying 33 touches. Now, we have been using this model in the several of our project that we have been doing. I even offer myself and talk to one of the project manager and say, hey, if you guys have leads and you don't know how to follow up, pass to us. We're gonna do that because I know one of the biggest problem that everyone face is this problem. 100% is this problem, right? I'm gonna show you some of the example that when we apply 8x8 and 33 touches, what happened, right? Now, this is one of our agents from Market Center 2 called Jonathan Sun, that I remember when he first joined that time, we talked to him about follow-up closely, and he followed up closely, and every time when I attend appointment with him, right, you know what the client say? They say, hey, you follow up me so closely. And I talk to a client and say, mean to say he do a good job, and you're not the first one who say that. All right. So mean to say my agent are doing a good job by following up with the client. Not the first time, I think a few more times the client say you follow up with me very, very closely. Now this agent followed up about 4 weeks. Now this is a very interesting case. Courage from Market Center 2, that one of project that we market in Bangi. And if you can read the statement, if you can read the caption correctly, he has been following up with this client for more than 9 months since the Arts and Lights event last year. Now, let me tell you this. How many people will have that intensity and frequency to follow up client for 9 months, right? So that is one of the things that we focus a lot on: lead generation, leads follow-up, and leads conversion. And I believe during this shift market, you want to focus on these 3 things, right? Don't always look for new leads, because I show you the leads come from the bottom and you journey with them all the way up, right? Now, I just want to show you this. Now, we say during this season of time, how do we generate leads? Now, Jonathan's son is the one who been generating leads. And during lockdown period, you know what he told me? He said, John, I generated 4 potential clients at home. Now, it's not about you need to be at office and generate leads. Actually, at home, you can generate leads. And he'll post up a video and say how to stay at top of your game at a real estate agent during recessions in 2020. Now, basically, what we want to do is, I actually want to get Johnson to really share with us. Now, during this, during time like this, we can't do anything, we can't do viewing, and you are generating leads. Now, how many of you want to hear from Jonathan's son? If you want to hear from Jonathan's son, please say yes. Comment yes, guys. That how he do it. Fantastic. John, are you there? Everyone want to hear from you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you show your face?
Yeah, I'm showing my face right now.
Yeah, please put a spotlight to Johnson. Okay, Johnson, I want to ask you a few questions. You have been very good at lead generation. You bring client to Sales Gary, and the client always say that, wow, this guy is so good. Follow me so closely. Can you share a little bit, what are you doing during time like this? And you generated 4 leads and you posted up on the YouTube.
Oh, okay. So basically, I just did what I usually do for my routine, my daily routine. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the day where I do my cold callings. So I usually time block in the morning, let's say around like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. to do cold calling. And also, I also spend about another 2 or 3 hours to do my follow-up with my existing clients. And if you, one thing cool about cold calling is that you never know if you get 1 lead or maybe 2 leads. 2 leads as in I get 1 more lead from based on referral, which is based from cold calling. So far from cold calling, I got 2 referrals.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, so cool. No problem. I would like you to share a little bit about referral. Now, I've been saying about referral during our mastermind session. Now, if you don't get referral, what will happen?
Your business, I mean, you'll be doing cold calling your entire life, basically.
You are 100% correct. If you don't get referral in your business, you'll be doing cold calling or generating new leads in your whole entire life. That's the business that we want to do. Now, anyone want to ask any question to Jonathan's son? Or we can, John Lee, you want to ask something?
I need to say something because it's very rare to have 3 Jonathan talking at the same time. So this is Jonathan son Lee Kuek here. So yeah, and John son, what are the you're saying that, can I hear correctly that you are calling people right now?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Even in this lockdown, you are calling people right now.
Yeah.
And what are some of the conversations that you are having with them right now? Maybe can you share that with us?
Conversations with them. Basically, actually, it's the same as what I conversed to them before lockdown. Like, let's say the virus has nothing right to do with this thing, right? It's actually the same also. It's basically to how to say, nothing has actually changed. People are still looking for properties, basically.
Absolutely. So you are going there, you are asking them, hey, are you interested to look at opportunities right now? I've got this. And what do you look at? What do you want? Something like that. You have that kind of conversation.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So everyone is still trying to buy properties right now, despite the lockdown. The only thing is they're just doing it from their home.
Yeah. Nothing has changed. It's still the same.
How many calls are you making right now?
100 calls a day. So basically a week, I'll try to make about 300. But that depends on you, whether if you can make 300 calls. Yeah.
So you're making 100 calls a day, and you generate one appointment or 1 lead a day or 1 lead a week. What was that just now? You mentioned about 4
leads. From 3 calls, I can generate about maybe 8 to 10.
For 3 days, you mean 3 days?
From the 3 days, the 300 calls. Yeah.
Okay, for 300 calls, you get about 8 to 10 leads.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for you. You are a hero. I just want to let you know you are inspiring all of us here right now. The 337 people listening right now, you are absolutely inspiring all of us by not stopping, by going onward, by doing what you're doing. So thank you for being that hero for us.
Wow. Give a thumbs up to Jonathan's son. Awesome, guys. Now, if you want to be successful, just change your name. Right? Right, just kidding. Now I'm almost come to the end, but I want to show you a case study that I had. I want to show you a case study that we are applying lead generation model. I remember last year I was talking to a developer, I think Jonathan Lee together with me, and we want to commit 100 million sales target to this developer. And what does it mean? 100 million sales target. Meaning to say, whenever you want to take a project, there are expectations you need to manage and you need to commit to the developer. Now, then I say, what is your average sales price for that project? The average sales price for that project is about 400,000. Now, what does it mean? Meaning to say, I will need to transact 250 units to this developer. So meaning to say, when I take on this project, I want to commit 100 million sales target, and your average sales price about 400,000, I will need to transact 250 units. Then I ask myself this question, because I understand the economy models quite well. How many appointments do I need to bring in order to get a sales done? Ask yourself this question. If you feel you only need to bring one appointment and get a sales done, please let me know. My phone number is 017-220-7717. You know why? Because I want to partner with you. Because you bring one appointment and get a sales done. That is fantastic. Now, for what happened to this case is when I track my number, I will need to bring 4 appointments. And what does it mean? And it means that I will need to bring about 1,000 appointments to Sales Gallery. Now, let me tell you this. We are actually not in real estate business. We are actually in lead generation business. Think about it. All the SME businesses that on the market right now, all the SMEs on the market right now, is that they are consistently generating leads. So meaning to say, I will need to bring about 1,000 appointments to the Sales Gallery. I have nothing to do already. That's why we need to commit ourselves to make 3 hours, time block ourselves to do lead generation so that we can bring the appointment. Now, let me tell you, we finish our product, we finish our project, that over the period when I track my number, I actually brought 265 appointments to Sales Gallery. That I bring so many people to Sales Gallery. Do you know how many units I transact? As I mentioned, 4 appointment, 1 sales. My ratio is 4:1, right? I only transact 65 sales. I only sales unit. I only transact that. So mean to say, actually, I talked to 265 people. I close 65 units. I have 200 people in my database. Now, are you talking to this group of people? I want to ask you this question. These 200 people who have talked to you, that you know them, you get in touch with them, they are actually network met group. These people, you talk to them before. Now, if we really apply referral and each of them give you 4 leads, right? You know how many leads you have? 800 leads. But the problem is we are not doing that. So the beautiful picture doesn't show here. So we have about 200 people in our database. What we are going to do right now, they haven't buy yet. What we are going to do right now, we want to apply 8x8 and 33 touches. Now I want to show you some of the results that we have. That when we apply 8x8 and 33 touches, and that product, we continue to touch base with our client. And you know what happened? I will show this KW command a little bit. We continue to close the deal for another project for a different product. That we continue to do that. And Jonathan's son also following up with this client that after we apply 8x8 and 33 touches. Now I want to touch on a little bit that some people say, hey, John, if I have so many leads, how do I do that? Now, as I mentioned, the way you handle your database is going to be very different. What we are going to do is we transfer all our database into KW command. And this KW command, this technology, this system, the best thing about this is tagging part. If you can see the tagging part, you can see contact, you can see M. Arisa, M. Vertica, you can see the tagging for board, high net worth client. Now, this group of people is that we know who are they. And every time when I click the high net worth client, all my high net worth client will come up. And I know what product to propose. And most importantly, someone asked, how do we apply 8x8 and 33 touches? Now, can you see this? Bi-weekly neighborhood, 8x8 new contact, quarterly call plan. That this system will remind you what you are going to do and how are you going to follow up. If you do not know, click the button, view step. They teach you step by step. Or they follow up your client automatically. So that's the KW command that we have here. John, you want to say something?
Yeah, can you go to the screen for context, please? Yeah, context. Okay, so KW command is the technology that KW Malaysia right now is deploying through a labs process in how we telling the agents how to put your contacts in, move it from your 555 books or move it from your what do you call that, mobile phone, and then sync it into the system, and then beginning to tag and label your database. The power and the value of our business is in our database and how we make it usable. How John is tagging all these things right now, because now he's trying to make his database usable. He will know who and how to run an 8x8 touch point for people who are looking at high net worth properties, people who are looking at Cheras properties, people are looking at Bangi properties. Now he has those database tagged correctly so that he can now run various 8x8. Can I look at the smart plan, please? Looks like, there you go. So this 8x8 basically in smart plan is an automation of how those smart plan will run automatically. Once you put your database into that particular smart plan, it will automatically send the messages and send the email through time by you setting the time in that smart plan automatically, so that you can go ahead and do your business. The system takes over the automation in follow-up. Now, these are some of the things that we are labbing and bringing down to Malaysia. About probably 30 or 40 of our agents are using this system right now to lab it, to make sure that it's working very well for our system. We are already seeing that there is integration with SMS, Twilio, with emails, where you can just automate that follow-up. So imagine you've got 10,000 or 1,000 or 20,000 database, you now can have that potential automation in following up with them consistently. That's where the agent struggle most, because that part of follow-up is a lot of time.
100%.
And boring. It's very boring. But let me tell you this, successful people do boring things every day. They do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I just that's what we are doing right now. Someone was asking a question, how many customers are you following up with the digital touchpoints 8x8? I think for John, it's a lot.
A lot. A lot.
I think a few hundred at least.
You could actually spend time following up with a client for the whole entire day. Just follow up with a client, but it can be very tiring. Now, that's why I say we have this in our database. That's why I say talk to the airline resources. People, they are not in property, but they are in property related business. They don't know how to use their database. Get their database, because they will make money. You will make money because you have that system to follow up with your client. So yeah, that's the thing. Like John Lee say, successful people are boring. That's why Jonathan's son been doing cold calling all this well, right? Now I want to show you something. How many of you learned something so far? If you find this is valuable, give me encouragement and comment yes. Guys, if you learn something, I'm gonna come to the last slide already. Anyone learn something, right? Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Now, if you want to continue to learn something, now stay in touch with me. What I'm going to do, wait a minute. What I'm going to do right now is, this is my, can you see the screen? Right, cool. Wait a minute. Can you guys see the screen? Now, this is my Facebook page. Now, if you want to continue to stay in touch with me, to watch some of the valuable content, to continue to receive this kind of content and give you inspiration how to do it, now go ahead and also like my Facebook page, and I will stay in touch with you. And I just post the link here. You can click the link and do that, right? So that's the end of my presentation, guys.
Okay, how many of you think that John Kuek has and both Timothy has done a very good job, right? And I just want to take the next 5 to 10 minutes is, if you guys have any questions, please close it up on that chat box so that our people could see it and bring it up so that we can answer some of the questions here. And then there's more value that we can bring to the door for you guys. Anyone got any other questions or any ahas that you want to share with everyone? Some of the things that you learn. Aha is like basically we call it ahas as agent helping agent. But what are the things that you want to ask?
Right.
that have visited the sales gallery, do we apply 8x8 or 32 touches? John, you want to answer that question?
Sorry, again?
For potential clients that have visited sales gallery, do we apply 8x8 or 33 touches?
Correct. 8x8 is you always want to build relationship with them. From this picture, network met group, eventually you want to bring them all the way to call advocate. That's why over a year, you have to follow with your client 8x8 and 33 touches is to build relationship. Yeah.
So basically you run 8x8 first. Once you finish 8x8, you move to 33 touch points. That's
correct.
Right?
Correct.
So basically that whole year, that person will be hearing from you through various mediums and various resources, so that and you have to add value to them, right? In those resources.
Add value to that. And I care about them during this season of time. I really care about them because I know your client are lost. Your client are lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know they should buy property right now. They are lost. That's why we are here to help them.
Yeah, cool. How do you start the structure, or do you ensure the structure continues consistently? Question for you, John.
Yeah, you want to take this? You want to take this question, John?
How do you start the structure? How do you ensure the structure continues running consistently? I think number one, you need to first master that book and understand your database first. Go back to your database, arrange your database in according to how you want to tap them, in according to the market that you do. Right? Second thing is, once you arrange that, start planning 8x8 for this kind of prospect, 8x8 for that kind of prospect, 8x8 for this kind of prospect. Then 33 touches for generally all. I would say 33 touches is applied generally for most of everyone, right? So that your life becomes easy, right? But the 8x8 could be very different depending on the ones you have. Then you start putting people in. So I think the number one thing is to shift the mindset, the way we look at our clients. Most agents today, when they get a call come in from a client, they go there and Mr. Tan buyer, Mr. Tan seller, Mr. owner, correct? Then they all tan, all the time waiting for you, still tan, because why? You don't remember who they are. So you're going to put them in a database system. Either you do it in an Excel format, or you are real. If I feel you should be using Context right now. Context is right now available for all agents. You just have to find a way, speak to your MCA in your market center so that they can give you guidance to get you to log in. And you begin to put data in. Right? Once you put that data in, then you plan your 8x8s, then you run it. One of the things that I would coach you is to work with your coaches on how to optimize that follow-up. How do you curate? And that's something that you have to change and pivot here and there. So like today is COVID-19 right now going on, the crisis is going on. So your 8x8 touches should change a little bit already, because you might get in touch and say, hey, are you staying safe right now? One of the 33 touches will be, hey, by the way, this is a coupon for a free face mask, something like that. You know, so you want to change that according to the situation that we're in right now. Yeah.
Right, John. Actually, this session is it can be 3-hour session, but we lack of time.
Guys, can I add in something?
Yeah.
Yep.
If I were you, I would suggest everyone to get in groups, get on Zoom calls with your team, and start to work on a 33 touch point, 36 touch point thing. We have worked down with our whole team. We planned the entire year. Who's going to take charge of what? We have done all the EDNs for the entire year, and you can actually put in you can automate it in command. You can customize your own 36 touch points. So everyone should do that now since you're at home.
So show of hands right now. Just got an idea here right now. How many of you would join a training call, since you have extended our training, our MCO for another 40 days? How many of you would join a session if we just talk about 33 touches? How to do 33 touches, how to do 8x8. How many of you will join that session? Because if you see a lot of these people out there, they say yes, then that's potentially one more training that you can do during this time.
Correct.
Awesome. Any last questions that I missed out? Lynn or Whaley, do I have any questions that I missed out?
There's quite a few questions. Regarding KW Command, like how to use it, how to use smart plans. I think that one we won't touch it here.
Yeah.
Or do you want to address it here? No, right? We won't address it here.
For those who are in the review right now, absolutely speak to your MCAs, and then they will be able to help you to look at how to use command, and you'll probably set a different training for that.
Yeah.
For mine, it's
Somebody-
in Malaysia, just so that you know. Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody asked about clients that they have not met only through phone. Do you continue doing the touches with them?
Correct. We continue to do the touches as long as they show interest. They didn't say no to you. Remember, you talk to the client over the phone, but if they show interest, they are network met group. Remember, say this. So basically what I draw here is actually related to your business. What we want to do is to bring them to be your core advocate or to build relationship with them. Continue to follow up.
Okay. Another question is, what is the quality source of list for cold calling?
What is meaning to say what is the quality of database?
Yeah.
All right, I think you will need to continue to search to look for the database on the market that people who have or exchange the database. Now, I believe, yeah, so I'm going to highlight this. Some people have database, you call, and then you evaluate every 100 calls that you make, you evaluate whether this database is good or bad. You will never have enough leads. Let me tell you this. So continue search for leads. People who want to exchange their leads, go and talk to them and evaluate the leads. Keep asking, where do you get the leads, where to buy the leads, or where to have the database.
Yeah. Any other? There are a lot of, yes, the quality is in the quantity, definitely. Any trading on combine? Yes, Vincent, we are working on that to make sure that that's going to come very soon to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other ahas? Yes, nurture your data. Yeah.
Some ahas previously, someone said your business is your database and your database is your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. They got it very well. Awesome. So you are not in property business. You're really in lead generation business. Your database. Okay.
Before we end, we're going to end very soon because we have another session at 11 a.m. in a different Zoom call that is focusing on the secondary market, the sub-sale market. Now, before I go there, Wei, do you have the slide for the $1 Million Real Estate book?
Yes, I do. It's already. I'll share screen now.
You can share screen right now. Thank you, Wei.
Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes, so this is where you could get the book right now from us because we are selling the book in KW Malaysia. If you want to get it from Amazon, go ahead and all that. But this is what we can do for you right now in this season. If you are interested to get this book, send an email to hello@Whitfield and note down. We not only we have that book. I think we have a copy of Shift as well. Shift and the one thing. Where's my one thing? There you go. So the book Shift and the book called The One Thing. Okay, so just keep that screenshot there. I'll give you another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the book. Can I have the video back, please? Okay, so these are the two books that I think is absolutely necessary for you in this season. Since you guys are in that lockdown at home, you can order this as well. I'm not sure we have enough stock for these two. I think for the red book, we've still got quite a bit, but these two other books are a companion to that red book. The red book is what basically John and Timothy was sharing the whole day with that 2 key models. There are 4 models that we're supposed to have, but this whole training that we normally do is a whole day training. But we're doing this in a concise version to kind of give you bite-sized information and content that's going to help you a business right now. Guys, I hope you learned a lot today. I hope you learned something, and I hope that not only you learn, you should take action to do something right now. So if you are inspired by people like TY, Jonathan San, Jonathan Kuek, and Timothy, you should go back to your business right now after the session and do something about your business. Okay, so I'll see you in the next training at 11 a.m. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.